Thanks for joining, all of you. The purpose of this meeting is, just I observed, talking to all of you who recovered from COVID. Now, I felt there is some common things that everybody was telling. This call is not conclusive or something. We're not concluding because we're not doctors. So we'll just talk about best practices, which might help others. We are not going to tell that this is what you have to do, and we'll express our experience and then. We'll leave it to the audience. You can just tell, how you got infected and how much time you spent, because there is a mix of people here. Adi is my colleague. He got infected, last year, the first wave. He spent almost 45 days in hospital. It was a huge thing. Being alone in hospital. I want him to express his feelings, and he conquered. That's what I want to tell people. Even if it happens to anyone, we can come out of it. Definitely, our willpower should be so strong. And how Adi managed, that's what we want to know. And what symptoms he had. Apparently he did not have any symptoms. Let us hear from him later. And even Girish, my brother, he had no symptoms, but he was positive. And Raghu's story is something different, and Salim's is different. So let us start this. Maybe I'll start with Salim first. It was very normal symptoms he had, and he had gone through normal cycle, I guess, right, Salim? So I'll start with Salim.
Thanks, Guru. Okay, so for me, I think the symptoms were pretty normal. So I still remember. I'll talk how I managed, what best practices I followed, and also kind of what precautions I took, right, so that it does not spread in my house. Because I think that is the most important thing that we should be aware. How do we stop the spread within the house, right? Outside, anyway, you will be isolated. But in the house, there will be some interaction that is happening because food and all, somebody has to give it to you. How do you manage all those things, right? Probably I'll talk about that and how I managed to, not spread it within my family. Because my family, I have my mom who's like 60 plus, and I have a 9-month-old boy, right? Two vulnerable people. So I had to be really very careful of how I manage my COVID situation. So I still remember the first day I got my symptom was March 29th. Okay. The second wave was still starting at that point of time. It was not as bad as it is today. It was still starting, right? March 29th, morning 3 o'clock is when I woke up, and I felt I had a high fever. Immediately I checked in thermometer, the fever was showing 101, right? And the same time, night 3 o'clock, I told my wife that I'm going to isolate myself because I have fever. So that was the first thing I did. The day I had the symptom, the fever, I immediately isolated myself. I didn't know what it was, but I had to, kind of isolate myself because I did not want to take any risk, especially with my 9-month-old boy. Then next day morning, I went to a doctor, a local doctor, because again, most of the hospitals were not taking patients. I went to a local doctor, and I did not have an oximeter or anything, right? I just checked myself on oximeter, all the other parameters. The doctor, my oxygen was 96, 97. So the doctor said, okay, looks, and I had my smell, taste, everything. So doctor said, if it is COVID, we have to wait for another 2 to 3 days to test it out, because that is the protocol. You start some antibiotics and some paracetamol, Dolo 650, and all the other medicines that he started. So that was Monday, 29th was Monday, March 29th. By Thursday, actually, I started feeling better, much better. In the sense, the fever had gone. Actually, the most affected part was my throat. I had a really bad throat with a lot of infection in the throat. It was very difficult to eat anything or swallow anything. So that was the biggest symptom I had. All the other things were, kind of the cold and cough were manageable, but the throat was really bad. So anyways, that also started subsiding. But Friday, April the 2nd, fever came back to like 101 or 102, right? And that was the worrying aspect for me, because if you're on antibiotics, if you're taking all the medicines, fever should subside in like 4 or 5 days, right? But it did not happen. The fever came back pretty strong, 102 degrees. Luckily, I had a friend who was a doctor in BBMP in Wilson Garden. So I called him and asked, can I go to this fever clinic and get, because that's a fever clinic, PHC, it's a PHC, and it had become converted to a fever clinic as well. So I asked him, he immediately suggested me to go to the Wilson Garden, get yourself tested. Um, so he asked me to get a rapid test because RT-PCR takes a couple of days to get the report. He told if you have symptoms, a rapid test usually gives correct results. So I immediately went and got myself tested got myself tested rapid test only. It came positive. And all this time, right, this 4 5 days, I was isolated, I was sleeping separate. And if I had to eat food, I was eating in my own plate. The plates were different and all. This was pre-test, right? The plate I was still using what we use in the home. Everything was, kind of, we still didn't know that I had COVID, right? But I had started maintaining social distance with my family, no touching kids, no touching wife, no touching mom. It was, kind of everything was maintained at 6 feet. Okay, if we have to talk, I used to wear a mask and everything. But once the result came positive, things really changed drastically in the sense, though the treatment is not going to change, but your psychologically everything gets changed there. So immediately I came, and luckily for us, our house is a duplex kind of a thing. So I asked all my family, my wife and my kids to move one floor down with mom, and I occupied the entire floor in the top floor. So that way, total isolation. Nobody's going to kind of come and talk to me or anything. And the second was we have a lift which stops at all the floors. And we use that as to, kind of any food or anything that I need, water, food or fruits, whatever I need, I used to, kind of, they used to keep in lift. I never used to touch any of the buttons in the lift. Only button I used to touch was the button of my floor, and I used to sanitize that everything. We got disposable plates so that I don't eat in the regular plates that we eat. And I got that Savlon spray, right? So every time I eat, I put it in dustbin. I used to spray that, so that even if I'm disposing that garbage, I mean, it should not affect any of the people who are handling the garbage, right? So I took that precaution also. Every time I eat, I just put it in the garbage bag and spray it once, so that if there is any virus, though they say food and all does not spread the virus, but again, we should not be putting the risk of other people's, right? Risk to any other people's life. So that is another precaution that I took. So I think I recovered in couple of weeks. By April 15th, I think I was feeling much better. Fever subsided in about uh, once I had the test. I think another 4 5 days the fever subsided. But again, the other symptoms like this cough and the throat irritation persisted for almost like 2 to 3 weeks. April 14th or 15th, I got one more rat test and it came negative. But the doctor advised me to kind of stay in isolation for another week. So I completed almost like 21 days isolation in my room. And again, once I came out of isolation, I used to still wear a mask whenever I'm talking to my family, because I think psychologically it is always a question mark when you have something, you still feel that if something comes, right, even if you sneeze or cough once, right, you feel, okay, is it back, right? That question keeps coming back. So I never wanted to take any risk. I still wear mask when I talk to my mom, though it's not like any different or something. I still wear a surgical mask when I talk to my mom. But slowly, I think I'm coming out of that psychological aspect. I think personally, I feel more than physical illness. After certain point of time, it becomes mental illness, right? The reason is you're going through some disease, right? And that disease is causing havoc in the system, right? Though you're still in that mild category, mild to moderate category, but seeing the news, what happens is you get a question mark: will this happen to me, right? And that becomes a real psychological issue that I think we should kind of fight out. The way I fought was one. I had the same doctor who was my friend in BPMP. I used to talk to him a lot. That is one way you can have some friends who just keep calling them and keep talking, so that you take out the distraction from your mind. And second thing that I did was go away from social media, right? Except for WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, everything kind of switched off. and that helped me actually to come out, because every time you go on Facebook or Twitter or any social media, right, and even LinkedIn is full of that only now. Right, it's always like, I need oxygen, I need bed, and my father is this, my aunt is this, right? It kind of starts putting, I'm not telling it is wrong or right, putting on social media, but people who are going through that, who have caught the disease, I think they should avoid going to social media. That's what I'm telling you. You ask your relative or your brother or sister to just monitor the social media, because you get a lot of information on social media also. But as a patient, you don't go to social media, because it will affect you definitely. You will start questioning yourself. Are you, your mental health, your physical health? You keep questioning, even though if you are fine as well, you keep questioning yourself whether I'm good or I'm bad, right? So that thing should not come. It started coming to me, but luckily, I took the decision of not going to social media, completely banned. I'm still not going on Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn. Completely banned myself for last 2 weeks, and I feel a lot of difference mentally. I think I feel a lot of difference. So that is another advice that I would give. And also listening to some inspiration and videos, right? Especially Dr. Raju, right? He has been very good actually. I kind of followed a lot of his treatments, right? I told about the cough and cold being persistent for us even after 15, 20 days, right? He had suggested to take, ginger and honey. Okay. So you mix ginger and honey and you take it. That will soothe your throat. And also, yeah, for cough, what he suggested was take garlic, take black pepper, one seed, and salt, crystal salt, one seed. Okay. Just keep it in your mouth and, kind of chew it. Right. That really worked. My cough went in 2 days. Okay, I ate that. My cough went in 2 days. Right. So I followed people like this, and watched their videos on YouTube to get more inspiration. And I think the suggestions like that helped. And finally everything went well by the grace of God. Touch wood, and nothing happened major. But yeah, so as I said, it becomes more of mental post COVID than in physical, guys. So yeah, that was my story. If anybody has any questions, feel free
Nice.
to.
Awesome. Very important thing you told was no social media and no news. That's very
Yeah,
important. And in fact, we should have a duplex house also now if you want to get better.
good
Just
luck.
kidding. Just
Yeah.
kidding. So okay. Anyway, we'll keep question answer later maybe.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, Salim. Girish, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, Girish is my brother. And
Hey guys, yes. I mean, I can understand, but it's going through all the COVID positive symptoms. It's pretty difficult. But in my case, I was a bit lucky, I would say, because my wife got it first. She was having, little severe. I wouldn't say very severe symptoms, but I would say like medium to severe symptoms. Like she had fever, continuous fever, and all kind of I mean a little bit of uh, throat infection also. I actually contacted for my wife. I was completely asymptomatic. I didn't have any kind of symptoms except the headache on the first day. That's when doctor asked me to undergo COVID test, and I really didn't expect that I would get COVID positive, but unfortunately, my result came as positive. I was really a bit surprised because I'm not having any kind of symptoms, but yes, my platelet counts was a bit lower. Doctor said like when I consulted a doctor, he said like it is kind of he compared COVID with HIV. I don't know why he compared, because he said like this is kind of a virus, a new strain of virus. It affects each and every organ of the body, and I was a bit after hearing that I was a bit tensed, I would say, like, because it was kind of a very confused situation for me, because I didn't know what decisions I have to take, and whether it is really going to I kind of a stressful situation, I would say, because I have a 9 years old daughter, and I had to make sure she doesn't get COVID. So that was really important for me and my wife. Um what I would say, like, in my case, since I was asymptomatic from the first day, I just had to make sure I don't, get any kind of infection, because in many cases, what I've heard from my friends and all, uh, some of them were symptomatic, and some people have got, though they had symptoms, but still they got negative report. In that case, after a few days, they realized that, their lungs got infected. So I just had to make sure, I followed all the healthy routines, healthy habits, like, some of the whatever the things they've suggested, like online, some of the videos were really inspirational videos, I would say. Drinking tulsi water, that's something I got to know from my brother. He was really helpful and supportive during that time, from his family and all, because you need someone, but during, when you're going through tough time, you need someone, like, who's very supportive, and they were supplying food, and it was kind of, you need family, you need to be very close to your family. That is very important, during that time it will be really helpful. And you to this, I would like to thank my brother. I have thanked him many times, but still, again, I'm thanking him. And yes, I mean, I followed all the healthy habits. And yes, what is important is the reason we were able to recover, I would say, I don't know, of course, I mean, many people are going to speak about it. I can understand, some of you, have gone through the situation, which I have not gone through. But what I would say is the timely treatment, which is very important. That's what I heard, because first 5 days of COVID are, it's considered as a golden period, golden phase, where you have to take a proper treatment. And I would like to thank my doctor as well, because he prescribed some of the medicines, like, vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. Yeah, these have become very popular nowadays, and those are really helpful. Of course, the paracetamol and whatever the antibiotics they prescribe, it was really helpful. And along with that, some of the healthy routines, what I follow, like the tulsi water, and also the steam inhalation, that really helped me, and helped my wife also. I mean, she was able to recover quite quickly. I mean, like, within 14 days only. So now we are completely covered and happy. So the only thing I would like to say is the timely treatment is very important here. In case of COVID, you don't have to delay, because I have one example. One of my friend, he delayed. He started self medication. That is very dangerous, because I have seen with my own eyes. Like, he was little delayed taking the treatment, and he was doing a self medication for 4 or 5 days. So he got admitted to hospital, and he's still suffering. Like, he's still having a saturation problem and all. So yeah, but that's my experience, whole experience about it.
Nice, awesome. So one more thing I noticed was, since he's my brother, and I've seen, I mean, the whole family got disturbed, right? I mean, he has a kid who is 10-year-old, and she started having psychological issues, right? After they recovered, and she started saying, "Oh, I'm having breathing problem and all," because she's not going out, she's not talking to anybody, and she's there like quarantine. This is a very difficult phase, no? Like, already lockdown is like we're suffering, and on top of it, both parents are being positive, and we're asking her to stay away from them, which is like such a cruel thing that we think, how can we say that? She was crying when we told her on video, please stay away from mom and dad. Oh my God. That is what I think the most impact happened, right? With the kids. Thank you, Girish.
Thank you.
Adi is my old colleague. We worked in Xerox, and he had a terrible days, last year, the first wave. So I'll let him explain his experience. Adi.
Yes.
Thank you, Adi.
Hi all. My name is Adi Narayana. So actually, me and Guru work together in Cognizant as well as Xerox and the ACS. So last year, the July month, I got the COVID. Initially, I got the eyebrows only paining. I don't have any symptoms all the days. Only eyebrows is paining, and I'm taking heat and inhale. Just putting the electric inhale, and I started taking the Dolo 650 tablet alone. Me and my kid, both younger kid is a 14 years old guy. He also have the same feeling. Within a week we tried that. my younger kid is survived. He don't have anything. But I got a fever one day and I took them other medicines. But 3 days is fine. After 3 days, I got the very chill kind of thing. Then I thinking that something's happened in my body. Then I went to doctor and the doctor took the X-ray. But I don't have any symptoms except those 1 day fever. I don't have cough. I don't have throat pain. I don't have any symptoms. Then my doctor took the X-ray. Then my lungs infected, 50% lungs infected by the day. Then that day he told that you have to admit immediately in private hospital. And then I don't. My saturation level is above 90, but lungs infected more. Then he took 1 or 2 days again, second blood test, everything. Finally, he told that on Friday you have to go and admit hospital. Then Friday I slept sometime. Then I wake up. I alerted my neighbors, so I need to go to hospital and I gave my valuable things and everything to my kids. I came to know that I am going to ICU bed, but whether it's COVID or not, I don't know. Just I went to the doctor, different hospitals. They didn't take me in the bed. They didn't give the bed to me. They asked me that COVID test. So wherever you go, COVID test required that day, that time. So then I went to home early morning again, back to home, and one guy came to my house and he did the test, COVID test. But it will take 2 days. After 2 days, we'll get the result, either positive or negative. I don't know. So luckily, my family members, my other 2 kids, or wife, didn't affected anything for this. Then I sat at home and I feel that no, this is not the good decision. I have to go and admit hospital at any time. No need to wait for the positive or negative. Otherwise, but the Friday started breathing problem night. Monday, Saturday morning also I got the breathing problems. Then I should go to hospital, but nobody is taking to me. Then I called my friend. One of my friend helped me. Go to the Vaidehi Hospital, Whitefield. You can go get the bed there. There known friends are there, known people are there. How to go to from the Uttarhalli to Vaidehi Hospital? There is no, that is complete lockdown that days, July month. There is no vehicles at all. Bangalore completely locked down. Then I asked my wife, okay, can you go in 2-wheeler? She told that, okay, are you ready? Are you can drive? Yes, I have will for. I have to go admit hospital. That is my goal. I want to reach the goal. If you go to hospital, I'll get the start treatment. Then only I can survive. Otherwise, I won't survive. That is my first goal. I told that, okay, I can drive it. Then I took my 2-wheeler. My wife is backseat, and I went fast. Over 40 to 50 kilometer speed, I went to hospital. Then I take 2 hours to go to the emergency ward itself because I don't take COVID test, right? Without COVID test, they are not allowing to enter into the hospital. Some were known friends, I went to there and emergency ward, they tested again, they did the rapid test immediately. Around 3 o'clock, morning, 8:30, I started at work, I hope. Evening, afternoon, 3 o'clock, they did the one more test, COVID, rapid test. They confirmed that is a COVID. But my wife is there, my kids, everyone together is there. But that time I shocked. So whether my kids are affected or not. Affected, what is their condition? I will go to the ICU bed. What about they? How to survive economically? How to survive other things? I was only one person in my family to take care of this. Then bit tension. Okay, I didn't take the much tension, but bit thinking. Then I leave it everything. Okay, I should survive. Whether others problems are different, but I should survive. Then I go to the ICU bed. Everything I'm observing everything in the ICU bed, everything. But 2 days, second day itself, they told that we have to go to ventilator. Then ventilator means it will be very irritating things, right? The ventilator. Somehow I survived with 95 saturation oxygen level. They didn't put me ventilator. But after 3rd day or 4th day only, doctor told that your COVID the infection is reducing. Then I'll get okay, I am going to survive. I want to live. That's only one word in my mind always. I want to live. I want to live. I want every time. That's a willpower I put into my mind. So I should not think anything. I don't have any phone. I don't have any other things at home. I'm in my hand in hospitals, right? So I'm thinking every time per day at least 1,000 times. I want to live. I want to live. I want to live. That's the only word I use for 1 week days. After 1 week, doctor that you are going to survive, but infection is reducing very slow. Then it took me 30 days in ICU itself. I was the only person. I don't know about my kids' situation. I don't know about my mother situation. I don't know about anything. Even I have the phone with me. I can't talk it because fully covered with this one mask, oxygen mask, nose, mouth. Only at the time of eating, they will remove and they'll put the nose nozzle mask to go to it. So I can't talk it. I can't see them in the video also. So, but I didn't think about their situation. I want to leave only the word I use entire my 30 days ICU. It's a terrible experience, and I don't know how God gave life to me. So near my beds, ICU beds, every day through 2-3 people will die. They'll come and die. They'll come and die. I and only 2 or 3 people survive that time. Then luckily after 2.5 weeks, they moved from that ward to different ward. As again as ICU ward, it will be little bit spacious. So more beds and all. Then it will be at that ICU give more confidence that okay, so it will cure very soon. But it take again 2.5 weeks so that time. So a terrible condition in ICU. So I don't know how many people are survived like 30 days in ICU, come out of that. Terrible. But 40 liters water, oxygen, how much required oxygen, that from 40 liters to came down to the 2 liters water. Even after discharge also, I took the oxygen almost 2 months at home. There is electric oxygen. I took the 2 months oxygen. So almost I recovered after July infected, August discharged, August end, September, October, till October I survived with oxygen at home. Now completely recovered. I don't have an access, I don't have any tablets, anything. Even my respiration also, that respiratory meter balls is there, no? I can do the exercise 3 balls up and down. I will roam, I can run, I can walk, anything, fast walk, everything normal right now. But luckily, I am not that much love for the social media and all. Even I have the Facebook account, but I never used.
Awesome,
So-
Adi. Great story.
Good thing is God grace is the my. So one more thing I want to tell. So, from the hospital, day one from hospital to till October, I never get a fever, sir. I will never get a fever. I don't know. Even doctor is asking every day, are you get a fever? Never get a fever, sir. Even cough or fever, nothing. Even I can't able to split that kapha is there, no. Even I can't able to split the kapha also that time. Then luckily by God grace, my kid's wife not infected at all. But they were there 2 weeks in isolation in my home itself. So my flat guys, my flat neighbors, so everyone they help to them give all the necessary things, grocery and vegetables, everything they gave to doorstep. They survived.
Great. So, I mean, that was really mystery, no? I mean, no symptoms at all. Not
No
even
symptoms at all.
no,
Not at
no
all symptoms.
fever, nothing. And I liked your this thing, mantra. I want to live. That's
want to
what I think everybody has to say. I want to live. Raghuji. Raghu has a different experience. I was like, let us hear from him.
Hi everyone. Well, what I'm going to say now is purely my personal experience or my beliefs and thoughts, so please don't get influenced. I think hospital should be not the first choice the moment you fall sick. And that be COVID or no COVID. COVID is what? Just going by symptoms, it is just high fever and you have some breathing problem and maybe other symptoms. So first thing we should do is not panic. Try all home remedies. Of course, you need to get RT-PCR done and all that. That is essential. You don't have a choice there. And try to get it fixed at home. That is the best thing. But what is prevailing now is the moment you are COVID positive, first next thing that you want to do is you want a bed in hospital. think that's the general mindset, which is very unfortunate. It can be easily handled at home. See, my case, I underwent 2 times RT-PCR. It was negative, but I mean, the only 2 symptoms that I can compare that with COVID symptoms are high temperature and dry cough. These are the only 2 symptoms that were matching, you know. And as I had a perfect sense of smell in both the episodes, I had 2 episodes in a span of 1 month. So I was very confident that no, this cannot be COVID. And of course, the RT-PCR test confirmed that it is not COVID. And my only challenge was not going to hospital and get it cured. Well, you may say I'm a very mad or crazy person. See, but the issue is in our family, be it my wife or myself or kids, whenever they fall sick, first thing that we want to give them is not medicine, definitely not medicines. There are so many home remedies, you know, they are just forgotten. Thousands of years, India, they used to say, I don't know how many may understand Kannada, Uri Gopa Vaidya means for one town, one doctor. That's it. So that was the kind of, you know, mindset Indians had, because they knew everything. Moms knew everything. What to give when you have fever, what to give when you have cough, what do you do when you have dysentery. They never used to get panic, and that is how even my mom brought me up. She never took me to doctor, even though I had facility, free facility actually. So I think that is how I got this mindset. So in 14 days, I had temperature almost until up to 104, and this dry cough was troubling me too much. But somehow, you know, my wife treated me just multivitamin tablets. She gave me a lot of fluids, a lot of juices. I drank a lot of hot water also, and then I could easily, you know, overcome this. I think if I would have gone to a doctor on 4th day, for example, after getting fever, I'm 100% sure that he would have prescribed me antibiotics. I would have recovered by 8th or 9th day. In my case, maybe it got extended by a week or so. I think it is worth, because I'm not sure how many of you are aware what antibiotics really does to our bodies. It actually kills all good and bad bacteria and germs, both. It cannot differentiate. An antibiotic drug, they say, I'm not an expert, please forgive me. It cannot differentiate between what is good bacteria and bad bacteria. It just finishes everything. In an article I read, they told me about what antibiotic drug does. Say, for example, there are 4 terrorists hiding in a village. The army commander says, "Pura gaon ko uda do, pura gaon ko." That is not a good army, you know, army quality. You should just finish off those 4 terrorists. Why the entire village? So actually, that's what the antibiotic drug does. And I'm glad that without antibiotic drug, without any hospitalization, I recovered. The unfortunate incident that happened, I mean, the reason for the second episode in all which happened in 1 month is after recovering from fever, 4th day, I think, I came to know that there is Covaxin available at Rainbow Hospital. So I just rushed to Rainbow, and then I got Covaxin shot because I don't know, but I'm an ex-military man. Covaxin is indigenous, so I just wanted Covaxin. The moment I got this message, my heart decided, my mind didn't work. My wife told me not to take it. But, you know, I'm a man who is controlled by my heart, not by my mind. I somehow went out of the house, then got it. That was actually a mistake. I still had a cough then. And after 4 days after the shot, I started developing chills for 3 days. And then I developed regular fever. I had the temperature was stuck at actually 104 for almost 4 days. And then what happened is, I was so lucky that Tejasvi Surya's panel doctor, he called my wife and he spoke with her for 1 hour almost. He gave very, very good advice actually. He's a COVID expert. He said, don't worry, he has done a mistake. He shouldn't have taken a shot. At least, so close, he has just 4 days, he had recovered from fever and he has taken a shot. Don't worry, there will be severe side effects, but it will be all right. Not to worry at all. Don't go to any doctor, hospital, nothing. Don't panic at all. Just, he advised, give him a lot of words. What is it, Dolo 500 and so on, So I continued with all these medicines. And one best thing advice that he gave me is, he said, be active. You may be running a temperature of 104 or 107, but be active. So I don't know. I thought, well, I don't know what he means, be active. Then I started, even if I had 104.5 on that day actually. So I just started getting out of my bed and I just started doing 10 pranayama, 10 Bhastrika and Kapalbhati, 80 Kapalbhati strokes, that's it. And then I started walking into each and every room of my house so that I remain active. I saw that before this, my mind was actually very weak. Once I started doing all this, my mind became stronger and I regained the confidence that yes, I will overcome this. So I think that is very, very crucial. We should always be active, whatever it be. It could be COVID, it could be 104-degree temperature, or we may have lost one limb, or it could be any ailment. I think a man should always remain active as much as possible. I mean, you shouldn't overdo anything there. So one advice which I can say, because I'm an experienced holder, is please take vaccination only after 14 days if at all you had some infection. Allow 14 days rest time. Only then go for vaccination. This information is not available everywhere. I went to Covaxin fact sheet website and I saw the fact sheet. It says currently you should not have fever. That's it. It did give me some comfort, but that is not good enough, correct information. And if you have recovered from COVID, now that I have researched, all these things, especially my wife, you should not take vaccine for 90 days, 90. Okay, so that is these are very, very important things. So to sum up, I would say any sickness, please, number one, be strong. Number two, remain active. Number three, just be consistent with both the first two things. That's it. Thank you so much for giving me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, summary was great, vaccination thing, many people don't know. That's what he was telling, right? So, keeping yourself active, that was very important. And not with the social media again, with yoga, pranayama, that kind of thing, or any other activity. Maybe talk to your kids or tell stories, of course, maintaining a social distancing. Great points. Thank you. Do we have Tilak? Tilak, you want to share a few things?
Yes, Guru. Just give me a moment.
Sorry, I'm just calling on the spot.
No, that's okay, Guru. I was just waiting for my turn.
Okay.
Yeah. So hi everyone. So So for my journey with COVID is it all started with fever for 3 days. It was a little on the higher side, like 1 or 2, but I did not suspect that it was COVID because generally people say COVID fever would be less than 100 or somewhere close to 100. And also for close to 3 weeks, I haven't even stepped out of my home, and somehow I still contracted this. So after 3 days, my temperature came to normal, and then for those 3 days, I have isolated myself. And after 3 days, again I thought, okay, let me isolate myself for another 2 more days, and total 5 days I have isolated, and then only I came outside. And for 2 days, I was fine, and I was just roaming inside my house. And after 7th day, again I started to get fever like around 99. Then I suspected, okay, this might be COVID, and then I again started isolating from morning itself. And in the night, suddenly I stopped feeling the sense of smell. Then I confirmed that yes, it is COVID, and the next day I took a RT-PCR test, and then after that day, the next day I got the report, and I got a confirmation that it's a COVID thing. Then I started completely isolating myself from my other family members. But by that I before that, only the 2 days when I started roaming inside the home, I think I have done enough damage for them. Even though I was not having any cough or cold, but I still feel roaming among themselves, I think I might have spread to them. The biggest concern for me was my mother. She is 65 years old, and my only concern and fear was she not getting infected with this, and also she is diabetic, and that was my main concern. So if she gets infected with the new rules, people said the doctor said that she has to get admitted. That was my first and most concern, because we recently saw, like 3-4 months back, my father passed away with some other illness. So my main concern was our family was not in a mood or a state we can take one more, or something seriousness also we cannot take it. We are still grieving. So that's the reason I was mainly concerned about. So immediately, currently my brother and my mother are staying at home. So we had 3 different rooms, and we started isolating separately. So the next day we got my mother and my brother tested, and somehow my brother had symptoms of little bit of a cold, not cough. He tested negative, but my mother, without any symptoms, she tested positive. Then we thought this might be a false positive, and the next day we got one more test done, and both my mother's and brother's test now came as negative. So now with an ambiguity, we still started isolating ourselves, and then we had one doctor. My brother's in-laws knew him, so he told that, okay, let's get some blood tests done for my mom along with us. And those tests really made some sense, and those really brought up some hidden infections. So when the reports came, my mother's D-dimer and CRP and ESR reports were a little bit abnormal. When we went back to the doctor, they said these are the new symptoms with COVID, even though they test positive or negative with no symptoms. When these tests are done, you get to know the level of infection in your body. So those tests really helped us to start a medication which is not straight away with the COVID thing, but with deal with the infection. So then we started with those medication for the blood infection. So the so 95% the doctor says that it is part of COVID, even though the second test it's negative. the RT-PCR test says negative, they say that this is also the new symptom where the patients, even though they test negative or are being asymptomatic, they still tend to have these infections. So I think these tests really saved us from further infection, or we might be relaxed seeing the report saying negative. So post that again, we after the initial RT-PCR test, we waited for 10 days, and after that we got our CT scan also done. And that time, luckily, myself and my mother were we did not have anything, but my brother had a little bit of infection, and for that we took the normal medication, because here in this case I was following a BBMP doctor and my brother was following up with a corporate corporate hospital. So they were giving all heavy dosages, but for me they told they said it's all symptomatic treatment. So if you have fever, go with a Dolo. If you have cold, go with cetirizine. If you have cough, then only go with azithromycin. But still, even though I did not I had mild symptoms of cold and cough. So for cold, I did not take any cetirizine. I just went with vaporizer. So that really helped me a lot. So, and after that, but to be on a safer side, I just took 3 days of medication with azithromycin for my cough, just to be on the safer side. But most of the time with salt water gargling, that really made a difference for me. So most of the cough was rectified with a gargling. And after that, I just took 3 days of medication with azithromycin. Generally, they say 5 days. I took it for 3 days, and then it was all fine. And then after 14 days, I was just all fine. But my brother, to be on safer side, he went for another 5 more days. So the total of 20 days. But for me, statistically speaking, I also went for 20 days, but with mild symptoms is what I say. But the few key points which I would suggest is the first thing would be being really positive. So initial days when I had tested for COVID positive, I was not in a state of mind to take any negative news. Even the soap operas which my mom used to see on the television, so all the negativity which I see or hear, it's not see it, only hear, I used to feel something really bad is happening, like the same thing might happen to me or something. The negativity around those even the voices, I was not able to take. Then I told my mom, okay, just keep it in a low volume or let me switch on my fan so that I don't hear that. I shut my door. I really felt that the real important thing is the positivity around you. Whatever you feel positive to yourself, either it might be a God's kirtanas or anything, a comedy bit which you see, if you feel whenever you feel negative thoughts and you feel that, okay, open a YouTube, and then if you see a comedy video or an inspiring video that really inculcates positiveness inside you, I would suggest go with that. Anything that you feel really makes positive environment around you, I would suggest that you go and do that, rather than any negativity around you. I want that to be shut down really. And if you see the social media, that's like more than informative, I feel negativity is being passed upon these days. But that's from my side. But there are few cases where even I went to social media to get information from my friends. But when I was going through scrolling through all that, more than the positive news, it was like more negativity that is being spread, even though I feel most of them is false. But still, that's my opinion, but people might have a different one. I totally agree with that. So I would say as Adi Narayana told and Badri has told. So Adi Narayana has really like fought. He is like a true warrior now. And as Badri told, yes, I think you should initially follow the home home remedies. But still, when you see things are being aggravated, then it's really better to have a third opinion, which would be the doctor. So, and apart from that, I would say, I would suggest people that whenever you are taking the vaporization or do a gargle with the salt water, it is really effective when you do it in first thing in the morning once you wake up. So you take the once you can brush your teeth and then immediately you can take vaporizer, and then after that you can do a gargle, because once you wake up in the morning, the viral load in your body, like in the nostrils and in your throat, is very high, and that is the time these things really work wonders. This is all from my personal experience, because I have followed all this, and that really helped me a lot coping up with this.
Great.
And after that, so going with yoga and other stuff during COVID times, I did not do it. Once my 14 days quarantine period is done, then only I started doing this yoga, like pranayama. Even though I did it during COVID, but I haven't done for much time, like 2-3 minutes, because I could not hold my breath, or I felt little difficulty while doing this. So once my 14-day quarantine period is done, then I started doing pranayama. This Alom Vilom and Kapalbhati really helped me a lot coping up and the post fatigue and increasing the lung capacity. And one more main thing was the Brahmari Pranayama that really helped me a lot. So the Brahmari Pranayama really increases the positive vibrations in your body, which I really felt I haven't done before COVID. This is the first time first time I have implemented this only post COVID. So I would suggest these 3 things really change a lot and will help you while you cope up with all the post COVID fatigue and symptoms you have. Because post COVID, I felt a little blocked. Sometimes I feel my nose is blocked. So post doing this, I feel relief. And even though still I feel that blocked nose, but when compared to without doing the Brahmari Pranayama, and after doing that, I really felt a lot of difference. Because nowadays doctors and people say even after you recover from COVID, at least for a month you'll feel the nose blockage. I'm not sure if it happened to others or not, but a few friends which I've talked to them who have recovered from COVID, they told yes. So I would say always stay positive, keep your environment with a positive vibration while you're fighting COVID. And post that also, it would be really good that it will really help with your recovery. Very quick recovery is what I say. It's all from my personal experience. I have followed it, and that's why I would suggest people. So I think Guru, I have told what I wanted to tell people or suggest them.
Thank you so much. And your point was valid. Negative is not always negative, right? So you got a negative report, but still it was actually positive.
Yes,
and you took it positively. So that is wonderful. And your points are really valid. And even comedy shows. I mean, even when I had fever last year, I watched lots of comedy shows. That helped me get out of it.
Hi guys, how are you? So I just showed you an example of how a COVID patient is during his illness, and now I'm showing you how a COVID patient is if he is strong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking.
Awesome.
I'm actually not showing the behind picture. I'll try to remove the hydroponic thing which is there once again. And the hydroponic thing was the strawberry, which I loved a lot. Yeah, this is my wife.
Hello.
She has been taking care of me very, very well since the beginning. And
Thank you.
during my during my illness, she was there with me.
Awesome.
So she deserves a lot of credit.
Great. Very important, actually.
Yes, I actually didn't knew what she was undergoing outside the room in Bangalore. So I really didn't know what she was going through. I contracted the disease on 24th because my mother-in-law was infected. After she contracted, I had taken her to the hospital in Bangalore. She was ill, so I wanted to be there as her support. So I took my mother-in-law to Baptist Hospital. Later on, my wife took the right decisions of bringing me to Hyderabad from Bangalore, thinking that I was ill and I needed my people. I'm basically from Hyderabad. So she felt that I needed my people, so it is more important for me to be here. I had my sister, who is my mother-like person. Sishu, Sishu, Sishu.
So right now you're in Hyderabad, is it?
Yes. My sister went inside. 1 second. She's in call. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, she is my sister. So she has been taking care of me. And she's just a wall away.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. My Maplay, my brother-in-law, he's concerned about me, so he wants me to be inside the room. What else? What else do I require? What else do anyone require? Is love. Everyone requires love. And I was taking medication through homeo, not through any allopathy. As I told earlier, that my homeo medication was given by my Satyanarayana Mama, and he wanted me to be safe, secured, and also he was guiding me what to do, what not to do, which medication to be used while I was there in Bangalore. What I did in Bangalore is I didn't even open any social media. Any social media, I have not opened it. When someone said, no, don't go for homeo, go for allopathy. No, I said, I wanted to go for homeo because I trusted my mama, Satyanarayana Mama. He's been doing service in homeo. His his service unit. He's been doing free service, and that free service is by name HSRF, which is some reliance, some homeo self-reliance forum. Okay. And here in Hyderabad, I've got a lot of space to walk. I've got a lot of space. I've got a lot of sun. Everything is there here. In Bangalore, that was missing. what needs to be done when you're in COVID is, first thing, remove all negative thoughts from your mind. Second thing, drink lot of water. Drink 4 to 6 liters of water. Third, if you trust allopathy, go for allopathy. If you trust homeopathy, go for homeopathy. What you trust, you go for it. No problem. I'm not saying homeopathy is the only medication available. Any medication will work. What you trust is important.
You're right, that belief system is the strongest, if you believe in something, that works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So believe in yourself and do the right things. That is what is required. So, a lot of things. Your belief in God, your belief in yourself, and foremost, your belief in your people, that they are there for you. That is what is required.
Yeah, those are the two things, I guess, from your conversation. So faith and also the love, love and the support of the people. And that made the miracle, I guess,
And when they go to hospital, they don't have the dear ones with them.
That's right. That's right.
So that's the whole impact. I have been an NCC guy for 3 years. I've been trained to survive the hardest, toughest times. I just remembered that. What should I do to survive? What should I do to survive? That's it. If you people are in Bangalore, I'm not saying that everyone has to come to Hyderabad. That's not my motto. Bangalore is a great place. It's a very beautiful place, actually. It's like a Ooty for me. For me, it is like a Ooty.
Yeah.
Because it's a cool place, and from last 3 weeks, it has been raining continuously. Not continuously, but it has been raining. And only people who were surviving was people who had their loved ones near them.
Absolutely.
And sir, thank you very much for teaching me hydroponics, because hydroponics is love for plants.
Yeah.
Correct?
So that kept you engaged. Huh?
I love plants. I love the way they behave. What I learned in hydroponics is, after you taught me hydroponics, I also tried to survey a little more.
Mm-hmm.
What I learned is plants have life and plants can listen to us.
That's true.
I heard a research wherein 10 plants, for example, I'm just giving a random example. 10 plants of same genre. 10 same genre were treated by a same man in a different way. One side by scolding, and the other side by praising.
Yeah.
What happened is the 10 plants which were being abused and scolded every day, they died. They really died, it seems. I don't know. I didn't do any research like of that sort. And the 10 plants which were praised, they were the happiest. They grew very well. So it's love. It's love and only love.
Yeah.
And also your belief system which you have in your life, which are which are your basics, basic things. What is there in your mind? It's very important.
True, true. That's true. Thank you so much, Sunil.
Yeah, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll just share the video whenever it's
Sure,
possible.
sure, sure. Yeah, I'll be
The
waiting.
thing is, I'm still recovering. It might take a day's time more,
Sure, sure, sure.
but I'll recover for sure.
Definitely. I can see that. Please take care
Thank
and get well very soon. And hope to meet you once everything is normal. Thank you so much.
For sure, for sure. I'm going to come to Bangalore after 3 weeks.
Okay.
After 3 weeks means after we become negative
Right.
from this positive thing,
Yeah.
which people believe that it's really there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a system, right? So anyway, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate for making some time today. And all right, take care. And there are lots of summary. I could make note of it, and I'll write something and put it on social media so that others also can
That's it.
get benefited out of it. Thank you.